Ladies and gentlemen, we have a good one today. I cannot wait to get into this topic. We're going to be talking about the war on crypto. We're going to look at who in the US is fighting against the crypto industry. We're going to look at the players. We're going to take a little bit of a deep dive. We're going to speculate on some of their motivations. We're going to look at some of my trading updates, my copy trading updates. We are going to look at a lot of stuff today. It's going to be a good one. So as you come onto the live stream, do me a favor, smash that like button. Welcome. And if you don't smash the like button now, hopefully by the end of this live stream, I've said something that you resonate with, that you can click that like button. Maybe I will earn your like before it's over with. Grab your cup of coffee. Let's get started. Make sure you went to the bathroom, went to the restroom. We're going to be getting started here shortly when this countdown timer gets to 0. I'm going to pour me a cup of coffee while I wait. For those of you who come on the stream, do me a favor and say hello. Be sure to speak up. Be sure to engage, ask questions, make comments. You can agree, you can disagree. That's okay as well. All right. Mtron, welcome. Man, I have managed coffee in hand. I love it, brother. Just poured me a cup. I keep a craft of hot coffee right next to my desk here. We are going to get started here soon, ladies and gentlemen. Once you come in, say hello. Don't be shy. Got one more minute. We're going to get started. Which I've got to, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be working on my audio. I have a new mic I'm going to be setting up. In fact, it's sitting right next to me. I just need to get it set up. So hopefully the audio will be a little bit better for you all. My other mic broke on my travels. I got dropped or something somewhere. I have managed to live stream almost every day this week. That's kind of crazy. If you all appreciate the live stream, do me a favor, smash that like button and let me know if you like the live streams. Mtron says my stock and some crypto portfolios up 38%. Been good days, man. It's actually bonkers, is the truth, man. It is crazy. All right, we're about to get started. Good morning. Hello, wherever you're at. Good afternoon. This is Crypto Wealth, and today we're going to be talking about the war on crypto. Let's get into this. All right, we'll just go ahead and stop it there because I can't stand that annoying ring that happens. All right, let me know in the comments. Do you want me to start with the news and the war on crypto, or do you want me to talk about some of my investments and what's going on there, kind of an update? Let me know either way in the comments. I'll wait and see what we get. Somebody respond. If nothing else, I'll give it to Mtron here in a minute. All right. All right. We'll start with the investments, and we'll move to the news after that. First things first. Bitcoin is going bonkers. You know what? You know what's interesting about this news cycle that I'm seeing? I'm sorry, about the what I'm seeing in the news cycle that I wasn't seeing previously. Now we're going to talk about the war on crypto and the government's war on crypto, particularly the U.S. government in particular, in this today, in this video. But what's interesting is I'm noticing that, like, right now, I don't know why this always takes forever to load. I'm noticing that we went up to 60, just right at like 69,000 or 68.9, whatever it was. It was pretty close, depending on which feed you were looking at with Bitcoin. And we pulled back pretty quickly to like 66,000. But Coinbase was glitching yesterday. I'm not sure what other exchanges were glitching. In the last bull cycle, it seemed like every single time there was a broker glitching out, a centralized broker, and people would get their stops hit and all this stuff. Investments, then news, yeah, that's what I'll do. And what would end up happening is that would make crypto news like crazy. And this cycle, it really hasn't. I haven't noticed it anyway. And I don't know if it's because these news organizations are sort of in the back pocket of some of these larger brokers now this cycle. I don't know. It's not making news. If there was anything the government should be doing, if the government actually wanted to be useful in crypto, what they should be doing is protecting the individual investor. And one way to do that is to regulate exchanges. They should not be glitching like that on the price of Bitcoin, in my personal opinion. But yet the government's going to take the different route and try to sue the exchanges and all this nonsense, which is garbage. That tells me that they're not actually looking out for the individual, in my personal opinion. All right, so we'll come back to this. Let's come over here. I don't know why I can't pull the chart up there. And you know what? I can pull the chart up over here. Let's do this. I just want to take a quick look before we get into this, and I'm going to be over here anyway, talking about investment. So here we are, Bitcoin. We went up and we've done a little bit of a pullback, and this one, because this is not a spot chart, it doesn't go all the way up to 69 of where it went, but you can see a little bit of the pullback that occurred, that existed here. Listen, these are green candles by green candles by green candles. It is going sky high. Yesterday I kept talking about don't be afraid to take profit. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are speculating who's in charge in this market. Is big finance in charge in this market, or are the retail traders and the typical whales in charge? A lot of people are speculating that big finance is already in this market and could be potentially manipulating the market. I'm not going to tell you that's happening or it's not happening. I mean, I'm certain if somebody thinks they can manipulate it for their gain, they will definitely do that. So that's why I say be careful, always take profits. I mean, the market can move and do things that are completely irrational in a moment's notice. We are in a new world right now. I mean, Bitcoin is trading at 5+% moves per day at this market cap. I mean, this is unbelievable. So just be very, very careful with that. All right, I'll give you a quick update on BingX while I'm here. This is the trading platform that I use. There is a link in the description. It is an affiliate link if you want to check it out. But most of you have been following me. I have been putting a trade. I wasn't even going to cover this, but since I pulled the chart up, I'll just mention it real quick. I started this trade here. It's a leverage trade on Ethereum. I've added to it twice now. And as you can see, it's doing really, really well. I mean, the actual account balance started out at $681. And I'm sorry, the position size was $663. And you can see that our unrealized P&L is 1248, and I've been using 10% leverage. So, and now mind you, the reason I did that is because I'm very bullish on the coming Ethereum ETF was the primary reason I did that. Because I feel confident that we're probably going to get an Ethereum ETF. We'll discuss that today. It's been delayed, but we'll discuss that in today's video as well. And I feel like the price was going to move up and somewhat reflect what Bitcoin did during that push up. What's interesting is I was planning to sell part of this after the ETF announcement, but again, watching the inflows of Bitcoin, I may even hold on to it. If I sell, I may sell just to take a little bit of profit, but I may also end up just holding on to it a little while longer. I mean, I may just see where it goes and see if we get a little bit of a pullback in this price action before I sell. But I am planning to hold this pretty close to the ETF. I may hold it through the ETF. Before I said I was going to sell just in front of the ETF. I don't know. I may hold it. It depends on where we're at. I mean, we start getting this to, I do plan to add some more to this position, but if we start getting this to like, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, then it's going to be very tempting to sell for sure, because that's going to be a significant portion of my overall account size that I'm using copy trading, which is exactly what I plan to do with these profits. Just put them back over in my copy trading account. So here we are. Let's go look at copy trade real quick. This is going to be the general. All right, so while we're here, I'll show you the actual investors that I have. I got a couple of questions before about copy trading. When I'm picking, and it's not that I'm perfect at it, so don't follow me for investment advice, but I love copy trading. The thing that I love about it the most is it gives me a chance to be a little bit diversified in the market by choosing traders that have a different strategy, a different style than I have. So I love that. Be careful chasing the ROIs. Be careful for that. Most of the time, these traders don't have long track records. What I do is I come down. Anyone can have a good ROI in the short term. I come down here and I choose conservative traders. And there's a couple things I look at on this page. First thing I look at is kind of their ROI graph. I want it to be relatively smooth. Now I think this is a good time to be picking up traders because we've been through a lot. We have been through a lot in the market. And so if traders have been able over the past 180 days, been able to perform relatively well, that means they're using a strategy that can do good in a volatile market. That's not a bad thing. And I don't necessarily mind seeing traders who trade like this, by the way. I would prefer to see it a little bit smoother, but I don't even mind stuff like that. But so when I'm looking here, I'm looking kind of, I don't like this. I don't see how this is a long time of flatness basically. And he's just been doing good when the market's been pumping really hard. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm watching for and I'm being aware of. Um, I get nervous when I see really high ROIs and I see, bigger account balances. I do like that. I have the other thing that I'll show you here. I'm not following this guy. I'm not even really paying a ton of attention to him. I know his ROI is high, but I always come and look at the risk assessment over the past 180 days. And I really like to see ones and twos more than anything else. An easy way to look at this is if you see a two, they're twice as likely to blow up their account because all these guys are using leverage. If you see a three, they're 3 times as likely as a one to blow up their account. The name of the game is not how quick you can make profits, it's about not losing your account. Now, there's something else I'm going to show you, a little bit of an advanced technique. Come and look at account assets because I've noticed some people can game the system, and I don't know if he did it here. Maybe he did. See right here where all of a sudden he got a lot of funds came in? You want to be careful because it looks like that happened about right in here. And what could have happened is he could have taken a significant loss here. Let's just say he had a hypothetical 80% loss and it only is showing up as 8. I've noticed a little bit of a glitch. If they make a big deposit, it adjusts all their numbers because they made this big deposit. So the just keep that. That's something I picked up on the graph. So just be aware of that. I always like to look at account assets. If I see a big deposit, it doesn't mean that I worry about it, but I do look to see if it coincides with something like this. In his case, I do know for a fact, based on what else you can do is read insights. So if they comment on their insights, you can read what some of these people say. And this particular guy ends up following, he uses a lot of margin. So he runs a risk of getting a margin call big time. That's not someone that I would follow, for example. I don't follow this guy, but he doesn't look horrible. I'll show you exactly who I follow in a moment. He does have a bit of a deposit, but it looks like it doesn't necessarily coincide with any major losses. It's possible he was just adding to his account because he added here, he added here. And I like to see them adding to their accounts overall. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Um, this guy's not horrible. I mean, he's taken limited risk. He's only had a 5% drawdown. He's got a 20,000 account. That's a decent amount. That's not a requirement. One of my favorite traders keeps a $3,000 account all the time, but that's not horrible. A $20,000 account. And I like to see that he's only traded for 155 days. I prefer to see at least 180 days of results for me personally. Um, just an FYI. Appreciate it, mind of Sean. I read your service is going in and out. I get it. No worries. Okay. Um, by the way, those of you that are here, do me a favor and smash that like button if you're appreciating this content so far. Because I know people don't talk about copy trading like this. People talk about copy trading most of the time for one of two reasons. They talk about it just for referral commissions, and I get that. I mean, I got a referral link in the description as well. I get that. But at the same time, I notice that some people who talk about it don't typically use it. Or people don't talk about it at all because they think it's a little bit gimmicky. There's nothing gimmicky about essentially following someone's trades. There's plenty of signal services that exist out there. There's plenty of trading alert services. What I like about copy trading is you can get some idea of real stats and real trades on somebody. You don't just have to read a website and assume. It's a real time track record that you're looking at. It's not like they can backfill their own track record, creating tables and charts that look good. No, this is real time by a third party. So I really like that. The other thing I don't pay a ton of attention to, but it's good to see what assets are trading. Meaning, when you're looking at your traders and you're trying to make certain your traders are a little bit diversified, you can see if they're trading different assets or are they all trading the exact same thing. So that's just something to be aware of. Again, I don't dislike this guy. I'm not currently using him. I'll show you one I'm watching, and I'll explain why I'm watching this guy. I'm not using this guy, but I am watching him. Why? Well, his ROI is quite high, and he's got a lot of funds in here, and he's been trading for a while. What I don't like about him, and the reason I'm watching him, is he doesn't make consistent profits. He does take some losses, and that's not a bad thing. Like his win ratio is 60%. This is like a traditional trader, not someone who, a lot of these traders are using algorithmic strategies. He's got a traditional 60% win rate, but he's winning higher percentages than he's losing. Like, I like the fact this guy's like literally trading. What I don't love is he's got some pretty high risk, and this is the biggest reason I'm not following him now. I may put a small amount on him later, a small amount. I may do that later. But you see these 4% in a month, 10% in a week, 15% in a day. But these are real trades. Again, he's not using algorithmic trading, and I don't have anything against algorithmic trading. It's just algorithmic trading. At some point, if the market conditions drastically change, we get a black swan event. If traders don't know how to cut their losses, you're almost guaranteed at some point it will blow up an account. Hey, Sid Bidwell, welcome, welcome. I appreciate that. Good morning, good morning. All right, let me show you my traders that I'm currently using. Right here. Each of these traders, their stats page is down in the description. I'm not telling you to follow these traders. I'm not even telling you to use BingX. You don't even have to use my affiliate link. They do have a bonus if you use affiliate link. You get like a $30 bonus just to sign up, and then you get like a $500 bonus, up to a $500 bonus when you deposit your first deposit. So I mean, there are incentives there if you use the link. But if for some reason you don't want to use affiliate link, just go to bingx.com and use that. But here's the 3 traders I'm currently using right now. And they've been doing incredibly well this month. So, my goal is to earn $1,000 a month here and keep adding. All of my passive income, my goal is to get to $1,000 a month with every single one of them. And this is just one of them, right? So, I've done 300 so far. Many of you saw me put that into the derivatives trade that I have going right now in Ethereum. And that's so far for this month. Plus, right here, we're at 140, 150 for the month, basically. On top of that. So we're about 440 if you take out this $10 loss here. So we're about 440 for the month, and we're sitting on, essentially, well, I guess 5 days. So that's incredible. We'll see where we end up. But the month is going well, right? Everybody's doing well right now. If you're not doing well right now, you got to do something different. But let's take a look at these traders. This is the one I've been trading the longest. I always call him my Chinese Christmas tree trader, as you can probably see why. And I have the most with this trader. And I kind of like that, and I kind of don't. I like it because he does pretty well. He's not my biggest earner. He's just done pretty well, and he's always. Look, here's the thing. Here's my favorite thing about this guy right here. Like, he's one of the safest traders I've seen with a highest return. There are traders out there with all ones, but they're returning like 10% a year or 10% in 30 days. And that's fine. Like, you should start with, if you're going to start with copy trading, always start with someone who's safe. Always start with someone who's a bit safe. So right now, the biggest loss in a day is 0.6 is what it says. Account assets, he keeps his account right at $3,000. Doesn't add, doesn't take anything away. ROI is being good. That's 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. Looks pretty good. He's added some pop-ups and profits. You go to 44%. So I mean, the past 3 months he's done about 15% a month. He has not averaged that the whole way, but that's what he's done the past 3 months. 87% in 6 months. I mean, that's 160% a year with this trading profile. But here's what's interesting: he's trading Doge, 100% Doge. Here's what I like about these traders. I've never bought Doge. Meme coins aren't really my thing for the most part. So I've never really bought to hold. I have traded Doge myself, but I've never held on to it. I'm getting exposure to Doge price movements and Doge volatility through this trader, even though I'm not trading it myself. So I definitely like that. I mean, this guy's been trading for 557 days. That's why he has $600. for me personally. He also has 1,500 copiers. He's earned $112,000 for his copiers. I mean, that's pretty incredible. That's absolutely incredible. So I like this guy a lot. Again, the links in the description will take you straight to this page on him. Next up, we got this is my biggest earner. All right, so this is the guy who's probably earning me the most, but he's a little bit more risky, and I have less confidence in him, so I have less funds in it with him. But 30% in the past 30 days. He's not traded for a full 180 days. I keep that in mind. I want someone who's traded ideally for 180 days. We'll see where he's at. 90 days, 126%. That's nuts. 500%. That's nuts. That's not going to be sustainable. That's partly because of the big run up we've had. He was running at about 200 and something percent. So this is bonkers. I mean, he out earned the Soho guy we looked at earlier with a lot less risk profile. It does appear to me that he's doing some version of algorithmic trading, but he does cut some losses. He will take some losing trades. I mean, he will cut a loss if it's a losing trade. That's what I mean to say. And he's trading a lot of different tokens. A lot of different tokens. He has some uni trades that he got out of, thankfully. But last week, because he was on the wrong side of that uni trade that happened last week. But this is where he's at. We'll take a quick look at the next guy. This is my newest guy. I'll be topping him up once I get out of that derivatives trade with $1,000. Again, totally different strategy, totally different tokens that he uses. 180 days. He has had a daily loss, has not made it to 180 days yet. So I'm only going to probably have him at about 1,000. 64% in the past 180 days. Let's look at his account assets. See, he had a big ad here, but it doesn't coincide with any big losses. So actually, he went from 0. That was his first deposit. It looks like he opened up his account, but he didn't ever start trading for a while. And he came in with $5,000, and he's mostly kept that. So that's pretty cool to see. He's grown it to $11,000, and it hasn't even been 6 months, and he's not even withdrawing. So I like to see that. Here's another thing with this guy. This is your weekly earnings. So if you're trying to get an idea of like what you're gonna earn, this is his weekly earnings on what started out as a $5,000 account. So a $10,000 account, you can probably expect to be earning double that. Now he obviously compounded it. He had a $1,100 week, and it's just he's done well. He's done really, really well. Again, $10,000 account, he's doing about 300 a week. 200 there. So if you had a $20,000 account, you can look at doubling that essentially. But ladies and gentlemen, just know when it comes to copy trading, anybody can change what they're doing. Anybody can blow up at any point in time. So you have to be very, very careful of that, very mindful of that. The other thing I'll point out is liquid loans, and then we'll go into the news. Liquid loans is killing it. 109%. It's been as high as 111% APR. I'm not certain what people are doing. Like, this is better than BitConnect. I mean, and I'm being funny with that, but there are projects out there all day long that are promising 0.3% returns. That's what this thing is doing at 110%. 110% APR is a 0.3% daily return. So let's just look at let's go back and look at the calculator. Yeah, I don't know what that buffering thing is all about. That's a little bit strange. It's actually doing it on my phone as well. See Bidwell. I'm not sure what that's about. That's annoying. But if you look here, 0.3%. Well, let's just do a calculator. Oh, so what's that? Okay. So 110% divided by 365 days, that's 0.3. So 109 divided by 365 days, 0.298. You can still say essentially 0.3. Or you can say 0.298. Just be conservative as you can. A year compounded, those returns. Calculate. I mean, you triple your money essentially. You, it's mind blowing. By month two, you're earning $1,000 a month. That's crazy. By month, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By month 10, you're making 2,000 a month. That's if you're starting out with $10,000. You're compounding. It was blowing my mind that, and the crazy thing is, most people don't even know this exists. It is absolutely blowing my mind right now. The earnings that we're getting with this is in stable coins, and it's relatively stable in stable coins. I mean, yeah, a lot of you out there have been following me since I started talking about earning income for free with like free Bitco and CryptoTab and all that stuff, and a lot of that stuff still works except CryptoTab. They're annoying me still. I'm still working on trying to get a withdrawal from those guys. They did so well for years, and suddenly they're I don't understand. But anyway, the neither here nor there. A lot of people they're like, where can we put our funds? Well, it's up to you. There's a lot of places you can put your funds, but I don't know anywhere else you can put your funds in stable coins and earn 109% APR and then be able to compound that, essentially tripling it after over a year. And of course, are we going to stay at 109% for an entire year? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Here's the key. I mean, the loan token emission rate goes down. That's what we earn in. The price of the loan token goes down. That's what we earn in. But people are getting out. My pool share is growing because people are getting out of the stability pool. And that's totally fine. The stability pool is the safest part of this entire protocol. I think because the market is going up, people are chasing those really high returns. That's what's happening right now. So in my world, let them chase the high returns. Let them buy the tops if they want to. So be it. I mean, I'm over here making crazy APRs and I'm able to compound that. And I don't have to sell the underlying assets. I can just scrape the earnings if I want. That's the best thing about earning passive income. Over here, every week, I scrape every week or every month. I scrape my traders and I reallocate the funds based on their profits. That's essentially what you can do here as well. It's pretty incredible if you ask me. All right, let's talk about the war on crypto. Where are we at? All right, we've halfway through this stream. Now we're going to be talking about the war on crypto because this is something that we need to be aware of in the crypto space. Absolutely for certain. First things first, crypto's getting adopted. I don't think the war on crypto wins, but we have to understand how the war is taking place. We're seeing a lot more mainstream type stuff happening. This is a German exchange essentially allowing people to start crypto trading. This is a news story today. People giving people access to the crypto markets in Germany on a mainstream exchange. There's also some interesting stuff happening right now that Arkham discovers a UK government wallet with 4.1 billion in BTC. So the UK government recently cracked down on this literal Ponzi scheme, is a crypto Ponzi scheme, and they got $4 billion worth of Bitcoin they've confiscated. Now, this is interesting, and this is something that hit me today when I was reading this. By the way, I'll get back to this. Fun fact: I found this news story written two different ways. One was about this seizure here. The other one was written from the angle of, I think, this person here, this Win chick, and essentially she was saying that she was not she was tricked into becoming an accomplice essentially. But they confiscated. Here's the key: 1.7 billion. I think it was euros. 1.7 billion euros. No, wait a minute. That was we were in China, so maybe it was. Well, yeah, it was 1.7. No, it was in the UK. They're Chinese citizens. 1.7 billion euros is what the article said, I believe. In in Bitcoin. Now, the reason I say that's interesting is because again, nobody can store 1.7 billion dollars in their home. Nobody can store 1.7 billion dollars in gold. This just goes back to the portability of crypto. And I know it's not on a great story, but a lot of people read that and they don't think about that. And it's like, wait a minute. They seized $1 billion from her house, not from a bank account. I think that's absolutely incredible. Good morning, Scott. Good morning. I think that's very interesting and incredible. But here's what's more incredible. The government is holding 61,000 Bitcoin now, the UK government. Are they going to dump it? See, for a while, I thought, and a lot of people in crypto were worried that these entities would dump this crypto to sort of dump this Bitcoin to attack crypto. I'm beginning to think this is going to be government's way of collecting crypto. You know, the Mt. Gox Bitcoins have never been sold. So, and there's other crypto assets that have been confiscated in the US and they've never actually been sold. So I've always sort of theorized that mass adoption happens one of three ways, or a combination. It's the people wanting to hold Bitcoin over currency. It's government entities wanting to hold Bitcoin over some sort of currency as some sort of store of value, and or it's companies. We've at this in 2007 when I said that, it sounded crazy. But we already see governments holding a little bit of Bitcoin and then acknowledging that, right? Governments like um, oh shoot, I just drew a blank. The guy in South America. I just drew a blank. I talked about him on live stream day before yesterday, I believe. They hold Bitcoin in their central bank. Bahrain has come out and said they have 5% of Bitcoin in their central bank or their central reserves. No other major government is coming out saying, hey, we're holding Bitcoin. But theoretically, they are. If they've got confiscated Bitcoin and they're not selling it, they are holding it. And it allows them to hold it under a different guise. They don't have to hold it like they're holding it for, a rainy day fund if they need those Bitcoin. But that's essentially what they could be doing. In my opinion, maybe I'm crazy. Let me know. This isn't part of the war of Bitcoin. I think this is a prelude to the war. This is why they're not dumping the price. And I think that the goal for this war is to prevent average citizens from easily transacting in crypto while preserving the possibility that crypto goes mainstream and keeping the power of crypto in the government's hands. And the way you do that is by holding on to it. So yesterday, someone was asking, I can't remember who it was, they were asking me, what if Craig Wright won this lawsuit and proved that he was Satoshi? And I said, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I don't think he's